Welcome, this is a video of Jumma game developer. Are you new here? So welcome, I am Utsav Chakma and I am the creator of this YouTube channel. Here you will get Godot, Unity, Blender, Adobe Illustrator tutorials. As Godot is the main game engine of this channel, Godot videos are mostly uploaded in Jumma game developer. But today is different. Today's video is the second Blender tutorial and it's about modeling. Usually without modeling, only cubes, spheres, etc. simple shapes can be created. But modeling can create cars, crates, humans, animals, etc. complex shapes, which you can take to your games. Okay, let's just discuss about modeling. You must know the basics of Blender before continuing. You must know the basics. If you don't, click the link given in description to learn the basics. If you do know the basics, so let's see and learn modeling in Blender. You know, this is what you will see at the first time when you open Blender: a cube, a camera, and a light. So we will actually use modeling, which only can be applied to an object which have a shape, but doesn't if an object doesn't has a shape, so it will not be able to use in modeling. And this doesn't have any shapes. Actually this looks like a shape, but if you are an expert in Blender, you will understand these are just some UI things which aren't actually shapes. We can just delete these things. These are just behaviors. This is for rendering and this is for lighting effect. We will not need them for now. The lighting effect can be seen without of a light even in Blender. And so how to start modeling? Actually you need to move to edit mode for modeling. Currently we are in object mode. You can see on here. In object mode you can move a whole object with all of its shapes, I mean vertices, faces. Don't worry, you will understand what are vertices and faces or edges. Let's just move to edit mode to start modeling. Oh, also before that, remember these things. This is for vertices, this is for edges, and this is for faces. So what are these faces, edges, and vertices? Well, a vertex is just a point. These black dots you can see I am selecting are actually called vertices. If I select a vertex, it will be highlighted with white color, and these are actually vertices, these points, which actually also faces and edges also depends on vertices. And then these edges. What are edges? Edges are actually what called scratch. I don't know what to call this in English, but it is a joint point of two vertices, such as for these two vertices, the joining point of these two vertices is this edge. This is the joint point of these two vertices, and for these two vertices actually the edge is this. So an edge is something that joins two vertices together, but this and this aren't actually joined, or am I wrong? This can be joined with this and this. Okay, let me show you something, not an important thing, but this vertex isn't connected with this one, so you can see any black lines between this. Oh, okay, I understood. The thing that I was trying to say, called in English, is line. These edges are actually lines. The first line and the end of the line, the start of the line and end of the line are actually vertices. and these lines stay together to create vertices actually. And what are faces? If you familiar with English, you will understand what are faces. If I select this, you will see that. But if you don't know what are faces in English correctly, faces can be mean the actually these are called faces. The things which are called faces in Blender are actually surfaces of a model. They These are surfaces by which the object can stand on another surface, and these are actually faces, these things. And so what I have shown you guys, by selecting here you can select the faces. By selecting this you can select edges of a shape, and finally this dot can select dots, I mean vertices in Blender. So these are the basics, I mean not basics, the faces, edges and vertices. Now I want to say to you guys something, that the interface on object mode is same to the edit mode. Such as, if you know Blender basics, you will understand that grab will change the position of the object, and same thing you can do with faces, edges and vertices. For an example, I have selected the vertice selection and selected the vertices. I have already selected it, and if you click G, you know the in object mode the selected objects will move with your mouse, but in edit mode only the selected things will be moved. What are the selected things? Well, for now my selected thing is a vertice, and if I press G and move the mouse, you can see it is moving. Same for the faces and edges. Let me show you how same is this. I have pressed this one edge and press G and it's moving. Oh, not only grab, rotate and scaling works also, such as like this. I have pressed this edge and pressed R and I am rotating this. If you don't know what are these G, R and S I am selecting on keyboards, you must be a new Blender user and don't know the basics. Please watch the basics videos first to start modeling. I have linked it in description, and you can watch it if you want. I mean, if you need to watch it if you want to learn this modeling part. Okay, whatever. Same for the faces. If you do know what are the basics, it's not so hard. You can see I have pressed G and my face is moving on here. Same for this one. I can also scale up and rotate. I can do anything I want as I can do, and with an object in object mode I can do that same thing to in edit mode with the edges, faces and vertices. Let's undo all the things with Ctrl Z. You must know about Ctrl Z. And then let's do our first modeling thing. You can see these lines and colors, which are actually caused because of I'm not using GPU, and that is causing actually these colors. It will not happen on computer, so don't worry. Just press a face, and I'm showing you something that is called Extrude. And what it will do, if you okay, it is not Blender 7.9. You can just select this face and press E, and it will, you can see, creates another box up of the normal box that we had before, and you can see it created another thing on here. Now you can create complex shapes like this by pressing E. Actually, it isn't working by selecting on here. I don't remember. I think it works only on Blender 2.79, or I'm wrong. Is it possible on Blender 2.9 that I'm currently using? You can tell me about it in the comments. If you don't want to tell, so don't, because it will waste your time on learning this. Don't go and comment right now. Comment later whenever you like. And there is another thing you can do. You can do the same thing with scaling. Let me show you by creating another cube. Control A, mesh, cube. You can do the same thing. Oh, sorry. You can do the same thing by just scaling in S and Z axis. Press S and press Z to scale it up in the blue line Z. The blue line is actually Z, that isn't visible right here. Oh, it is visible actually. You can see the blue line up, from up to down of the cube that I am currently selected. You can do the same thing by just scaling up this shape. But the problem is, if you now go to edit mode, if you just want to extrude it up like this cube, it will not extrude up that cube. Why? Well, it's a critical question. Not critical, actually, I wanted to say a hard thing to answer. That's because if you just extrude it up, it will divide that thing into the between the middle side, and it will create two faces on this side, and you can extrude only one faces if you want, like this cube that we had did. But in this case, you have only one face. If there would be two faces, you can just extrude this, the up face or the down face that you want. Okay, we don't need this. Let's delete with the delete key. Oh, for to edit an object, you need to select the object first on the object mode and then go to edit mode. Remember that thing, because sometimes there can be a lot more objects than the current object. You will want to select another to edit and model another object in anywhere, but you will see that it will not be able to get selected because that wasn't selected in object mode. So you can edit it. You first need to go to object mode and select it, then go to edit mode to edit that object. Okay, whatever. I don't know what I will create, but let me create a card for this example. Oh, I think you can just select it and okay, this is another feature I almost forgot. You can also extrude with this plus icon. This plus icon, I think, actually a little different. I'm using a beta version. In your version, you would also see a line from the center of this face and to this plus icon. You can just extrude by just selecting this one. It's easy. Let's not do with this. Always practice with the keyboard, and you will feel how easy it is one day if you stay practicing with the keyboard. I will scale it down to, because I'm wanting to make this a car and the upside is a little bit smaller of a vehicle or car, whatever. and grab that. You can see the interface is same to Blender object mode. I have just clicked G and Z to position it, and the positioning should be in the Z axis. And the blue line isn't visible right now because it's from up to down, and to make it visible to up to down there will be needed some extra more lines which Blender doesn't want. You can also visualize the Z axis, but I don't want it for now. Okay, whatever, let's start making the car. Same for this, extrude it up, and this is the back part of the car, so it should be smaller than the front part. Now let's face another modeling tool that is called knife. What is knife modeling tool? Well, and the knife modeling tool divides a one face into extra some more faces and adds vertices to inside of edges and can do a lot more things. It will work actually as you expect. Just press K, and I have pressed it right here with the left mouse button. I have pressed it, so you can see it is creating a line along the mouse. I pressed enter to submit it. If you press right mouse button, it will be not submitted. I will show you. I have created another shape, divided the shape with these things. If I press right mouse button instead of enter, it will be cancelled. But if you only press enter, then it will be submitted and will not be cancelled. And you can see the knife tool works as expected in visual. It's the shape of why am I doing this? Just to, okay, let me explain it later. I should divide this thing first. Why I'm dividing it? Because I want this same face on the left side to the right side, and to do that I need a modern modifier, and I'm going to wireframe mode. Actually, Control R is needed to be pressed to first divide the faces. Then I have moved the mouse to get my own position to do the loop cut, and then I have pressed the left mouse button. If you press the right mouse button, it will cancel the loop cut. If you press the left mouse button, then it will then also move with your mouse. If you press right mouse button, it will be centered exactly like this. If you press left mouse button, it will be the loop cut will be happened at that position where is your mouse. And then what I have did is press Z and move to wireframe button, press there, and then got this thing. To unselect all, you can double click A, then drag the mouse from up to down like me, then press this only this side of our object, then press delete vertices. We want to delete vertices. I have pressed keyboard delete key actually, then press this. Now we can move to object mode. Just press Z, then move to solid. Let's press this and this, then press F to join this. Actually you can join anything with F like this. Then what we can do is press this by selecting shift and oh, okay, whatever. Let's press Ctrl and press it. Press all the things that is between this and this. Press I mean edges to, and then F to connect. You can see it has connected the face to, like we have connected these vertices with an edge with the F mouse button. Okay, now I don't wanted to talk about this, but I have to talk about this because you will not understand what I'm doing if I don't talk about it. That is a modifier called mirror modifier. On this window, press this icon and then click on add modifier, then click this mirror modifier and make sure clipping is enabled on here. Now you can see it has created the same object in this side, same shape with this object, just it's actually not different in an axis. I don't you will understand which axis it is not copying. Now let's select the face, I mean move to face select mode and click this and click this to select everything between these two faces, then press shift and press this face, and you will see that these things will not be extruded as I have not selected it, and that's the reason why I don't wanted to I wanted to knife and cut these things. Now if I press, oh wait, oh it's alright. If you press E and X, it will be, you can see there is a place for tires now. Now press A to select everything, every vertices. Now press grab, or you can press scale 2. Now X to move it along the X axis. Now press after making your left shape, and you can just press left mouse button if something happen unexpected, so you can press the right mouse button to not set it like it is, and there is place for cars. And we have saw extruding, knife tool, and loop cut you have saw it too. And now let's see something called bevel. The bevel will actually turn an edge into something that I can't explain, but if I visualize it you guys will understand. Actually for bevel, if I have any, I don't know what is the shortcut. Let's try with Ctrl and B. Oh yeah, it's working. Now if you scroll up during this thing, you can see it is smoothing up the edge and turn it into faces, and looks great, isn't it? As a curve, we can do the same thing on here. Oh wait, it has done the same thing with this right side of the car, because we have attached it with a mirror modifier. Okay, whatever that is. I don't want this edge to turn this thing into like this, but I want these two edges, so I have selected them with pressing shift and pressing them both, and again pressing the Ctrl B. Remember, the bevel shortcut is done by Ctrl and B. Then I have moved the mouse outside of the edge, and the more I will move the outside of the edge, the more it will take area to do the bevel thing. And press left mouse button to submit, and you can see it has created a nice shape on here. If you want it to be more round, let me show you. Press Ctrl B again, move to your desired what called area, the mouse, and then scroll up the mouse wheel. Then you can see it is smoothing up more, and press left mouse button. Now it smoothed up a lot more. We are using low poly. In a low poly model we are using high poly things. Not a problem, as this is just a tutorial. Now another last thing is, let me show you another thing. We can join these faces by pressing F. Now it is not divided, you can see it is joined. I am doing this for something. You will understand after a little what I am trying to do. I am trying to do insert with these things. Now let me do something in shortcut. I am showing you this thing as a tutorial and not doing a lot of things, because you guys will be confused about these things if you see these things at the first time of Blender tutorials. And if you press I, you can see the face is centered by 4 faces. The 4 faces are coming from 4 edges. These are the 4 faces that I am talking about. No, these 4 faces. The more edge you will have, the more face will be there to insert this thing, and this face will have the same edges actually, but will be inserted by your IT, inserted by these faces. Blender will create these faces for you, don't worry. Now if you press E, it will get inside. The E can get outside too, you know it. I have shown you about Extrude, E. We can do the same things for this one. Press I to insert it. We have so discussed every fundamental modeling tips, so I can finish the tutorial on here, but let me show you guys how to make this car fully. What are the basics? So the basics are, actually, let me, please wait, I am explaining. Do like me, you will now understand what I am doing. Extruding, inserting. You can see we have created places for glasses of the car. We can delete these things. Let me show you how to delete. Press the face, press delete key in keyboard. Then if you are deleting faces, so select faces, or if you are deleting edges, click on edges, and if vertices, so vertices, select vertices. We are actually deleting a face, so let's click on the face deleting thing, and this line cannot be needed, so we can just delete it by selecting this edge by this thing, then pressing delete and pressing delete key. There are actually 2 edges, so we can delete these things only by one select. Now the same thing, we are not going to delete the face, we are just going to delete this edge. Now you can see the car is a lot greater than before. I don't know is this is the best thing you have ever seen. It must not be like that. It is the stupid 3D modeling thing. Okay, whatever. Tell you guys can tell me about this. How my modeling skills are to create complex shapes. Now we can add tires on object mode right now. This is the car body. We can rename it. I haven't show you guys how to rename. Just double click and name the thing and then press enter, and its name will be body, and you can add tires. You know how to add tires. If you can just now click on apply. Where is that thing? I think the apply option is not anymore in Blender 2.9 because I can see it. I remember in Blender 7.9 2.7.9 there was a apply button, but now I can't see anything like that. Oh, I think yes, select this modifier. No. Oh, here it is. Press this arrow icon, then click on apply, and the mesh or the model or the mirrored model will be meshed with the main model, and this is called modeling. I've shown you the basics of extruding, inserting, bevel, lookup, and knife tools to modeling. These are the all important things you need to know, but there are things you can play around with them, but they are not actually important, so I don't want to say about it. Okay, let me tell you guys the shortcuts of the modeling tools we have learned. Extrude, E for extrude, press E to extruder, press I to insert faces, press Ctrl and B to do the bevel thing on the edges. Loop cut shortcut is Ctrl R, and knife shortcut K. You can now create complex shapes. If you practice every day, you will be expert on modeling one day. Try practicing every day, you will be expert. When you are you will understand everything. If you don't practice, actually you will forget about the things that you have learned today. So keep in mind to practice these things every day, to let them remember your brain, let your brain remember these things. And you can, as I said, you can add tires. If you know the basics of Blender, you will understand. Just press Ctrl A and create cylinder and make it as your tires. Next time what we'll discuss, I don't have any idea. I think we will discuss about texturing or rigging. Let me see what we can do, or I can upload code tutorials instead of Blender. I will of course upload videos about Blender like texture, painting, rigging, etc. But I don't know when I will do it. So for now, this is all today. Now, if this video helped you, like it, comment down any questions below. You can actually comment anything you want. To help me to get more views, you can share this video. For more beginner tutorials, subscribe me, because by that you will get beginner targeted videos in your homepage, or you can get notified on the notification bell, whatever. Move to my channel for more tutorials if you want. For now, it's all. Stay safe, stay healthy, happy game developing. Bye.